keep us away! Sorder.
Senator Juan Ponce Enrile, one of the most experienced politicians in the Philippines. Kilala bilang isang matapang na senador.
I'm trying to recall. No. Things like that are not forgettable. You cannot convince me from human experience that you will not remember even once.
He has served the government for over 45 years and counting. Katakot-takot na hamon at kontrobersya ang kanyang hinarap na. 4 na beses nang nanalo bilang senador si Enrile. Una siyang naging Senate President noong 2008 when Manny Villar was forced to resign. Enrile has been re-elected as Senate President ever since then.
Siya po isang leader. Kitang-kita mo ang pagdadala niya ng mga senador sa Senado. He treats us with respect. Hindi po madali. Ika nga mayroong 23 republic dyan sa Senado. At bawat isa, kung ikaw ang Pangulo ng Senado, dapat pagbigyan mo ng kaukulang pansin.
Bilang Senate President, nakita ang husay niya bilang leader sa impeachment case na inihain ng Kongreso laban kay Supreme Court Chief Justice Renato Corona.
Sa aking tingin, naging fair siya. At naiintindihan po namin yung kanyang mga desisyon. Kung minsan pabor sa kay Corona, kung minsan hindi naman pabor dahilan sa ibig niyang alagaan at proteksyonan ang imahin ng Senado bilang isang impeachment court.
This impeachment case against the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Renato C. Corona, is hereby terminated and the Senate sitting as an impeachment court adjourned sine die.
Isa pang usaping kinaharap ngayon ng Senado ang usapin tungkol sa RH Bill. Ayon kay Senator Pia Cayetano, author of RH Bill, Senator Enrile is delaying the approval of the bill dahil hindi siya pabor dito.
Because this has been pending for a long time, and it appears that I'm being told that there is not enough time to finish this bill.
I never use any dilatory tactics.
Sa gitna nito, may balita ngayon na may planong patalsikin siya bilang Senate President. Ano nga ba ang katotohanan sa likod ng mga issues? Let's find out as Senator Enrile tells it all. Mga kapuso, I would like to, of course, welcome to our show, Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile. Magandang gabi po.
Magandang gabi sa iyo, neighbor.
Okay, oo nga ate muna. But let us talk about itong merong nagko-conspire against you.
Alam mo, Willie, dito sa upuan na ito, wala naman akong titulo dito. Kaya simula pa lamang, nung ako pinaupo nila dito, hindi nakakapit yung aking kondon.
Pero alam nyo, Senator Enrile, siguro 3 beses na ito, or second or third time, na merong talks na gusto kayong paalisin bilang Senate President. Di ba? And you have always managed to stay. Is it because you don't care?
Ako ganyan Kahit na nung panahon nung pumasok ako sa gobyerno noong 1966, araw-araw yun. Linilinis ko yung lamesa ko sapagkat hindi ko alam kung bukas wala na ako sa opisina.
How did you become Senate President? Kasi hindi naman kayo, you were not associated. You were not...
I was not aspiring to be Senate President. I was just happy to be a member of the Senate.
Tapos, ano nangyari?
That's all the height of my ambition.
Okay.
So, one day, they said, Senator said, we want to change the leadership. Pero wala akong interest dyan.
But, paano kayo nagpalit ng...
Kaibigan ko si Manny. Kinukulit ako, sabi ko, para na matapos. Kung meron kayong 13 na senador, balik kayo sa akin. Akala ko, nagbibiro lang. Akala ko, biro lang yun. Alam ko hindi na magagawa yun
Pero ginawa nila.
Nagyari. Sabi ko, hindi ko naman mababaw yung sinabi ko.
Pero sinabi niyo kay Manny.
Sabi niya, walang problema yan sa akin.
magre-resign ako.
Ayan ba ang nangyayari ngayon sa inyo? Meron bang pumupunta sa inyo at sinasabi, oy, may problema
Wala.
kayo, Mang Johnny?
Wala.
Manong Johnny?
Wala.
Wala. In other words, everybody's hiding.
May nagsabi sa akin
Oo.
na meron na isang senador na nagkaroon ng dinner at o kaya lunch yata sa mga reporter.
Oo.
At sinabi niya, off the record dito, plano na namin na patalsikin si Enrile. Dahil, masyado siya, matigas. Yung tao na yun, yung senador na yun, gusto niya, dadagdagan ko yung kanyang budget. Bibigyan ko siya ng pwesto na, binigyan ko na siya ng pwesto. Pagkatapos gusto pa niya another pwesto, hindi ko na magagawa yun.
So, alam nyo kung sino,
May nagsabi sa akin.
alam nyo ba kung meron siyang mga kakampi?
Hindi ko alam. Hindi ko na pinikialam. Pero, Winnie, I would do that only if I'm interested to stay here.
Yeah, but on the
I'm
other...
telling you, I'm not pretending to be, to be different. Anytime, I'm just doing this as a job. Not for the institution, for the country.
But haven't you fallen in love or
No.
fallen in lust with
My
the
God.
power that...
Power, Winnie, I've had all the power that I can think of. Power is like an ice cream. Ice cream. It melts.
Pretty good.
And disappear.
Tingnan mo na, but bilang Senate President, you say it's a job. Mahirap ba?
Huh?
Mahirap ba? Even with 20...
Every kwan dito, araw-araw may pipirmahan ka. Pipirmahan ka ng maraming mga bills. I signed about hundreds of bills. You cannot live without having to get somebody to act as a OAC.
In other words, you like it, but you don't love it. You're not obsessed with it. You will not cling to it.
No.
Kung anong gagawin niyo kung maalis kayo?
Oh, I will enjoy reading, reading poems, and go to my province and bask in the sunlight.
Oo. Tingnan mo na.
Come on,
Okay,
come on.
but you served Marcos. You served Cory Ramos?
Yeah, he was my friend. He was the president.
Okay, sa palagay niyo, would you have made a better president than any of them? And why?
I will not...
Oh, come on. Siguro naman in your heart of hearts, sinasabi niyo, naku, talagang mali naman ang ginagawa nitong mga taong ito.
Ang problema dito,
Oh.
akala ninyo kagaya nung ako ng mga iba dyan na bumubuhat ng...
Sariling bangko. Papalitan ko po ang tanong, ano sa palagay niyo ang pinakamalaking mali ni Marcos?
Sa matagal na panunungkulan.
Sa matagal na panunungkulan. Number 2, ano sa palagay niyo ang pinakamalaking mali ni Cory?
Hindi ko alam. Ayaw kong husgahan si Cory.
Bakit?
Ay, babae yun. Ay, hindi ako naghuhusga ng babae.
Excuse me na lang. Ano sa palagay ninyo ang pinakamalaking mali ni Ramos?
Hindi niya inasikaso yung Armed Forces of the Philippines. Kaya wala tayong kakayahan ngayon na tinatapakan ang ulo natin ng mga karatig natin ng mga nasyon sa Asia.
Ni Estrada.
Hindi niya pinagtanggol ang sarili niya.
Ano ang pinakamalaking mali ni Arroyo?
Masyadong inflexible sa kanyang mga desisyon.
Hindi ba ganyan kayo?
Abay,
Hindi ba sinasabi napakatigas ninyo once you make up your mind?
pero, alam mo,
Oo. You had more charm. Ganun ba yun? Kung mapaalis kayo, whether now or in the future you decide to retire, ano sa palagay ninyo ang inyong, what do you think is your greatest legacy?
I succeeded in maintaining the independence of the Senate and to elevate its image. I think the image of the Senate today, as far as the people is concerned, is a lot better than in the past.
Well, that was probably true right after the impeachment. It is not quite true now because you had problems with the plagiarism thing.
That thing is debatable.
Oh, sige na nga. Sige na
Kasi
nga.
you talk of plagiarism, yung mga bloggers, They did not understand what I was saying. I was precisely proposing something to protect them from any intrusion into their blogs.
Kung kayo ay umalis, whether you are required, whether you retire, you choose it of yourself, I'm tired already, or kayo ay pinatalsik. Ano ang mamimiss nyo?
Siguro the two haggards that were assigned to me.
Oh, what about the haggard? Ay, wala nang wang-wang ngayon.
I was assigned haggard. Well, at least they tried to squeeze me into the traffic.
I have proclaimed martial law in accordance with the powers vested in the President.
Defense Minister at Architect daw ng martial law si Juan Ponce Enrile.
Ang tingin ko nung kay then Secretary Juan Ponce Enrile ay napakalayo. Alam ko, isa siya sa mga tagapamahala ng dineklarang martial law. Stricto.
Dahil sa naging papel ni Senator Enrile sa diktatoryang Marcos, marami ang nagalit sa kanya. At a certain point, however, unti-unting nagbago ang relasyon ni na Marcos kay Enrile.
Yung intimate, yung personal na karanasan kung paano siya inilalabas na dun sa closed circle ng mga tagapayo, yung malalapit kay President Marcos, damdamin lang namin ito. At kuminsan, binabahagi sa amin ni Minister Enrile noon, no?
Inalis sa command position ang mga kaalyado ni Enrile, habang ang iba naman ay demoted or were forced to retire from the military. In February 1986, things came to a head.
Bago pa nangyari yung 1986, hindi kami parang nung February 22 to 25, hindi kami parang mga daga na na-corner sa Aguinaldo at Crame. Tuwing iikot si Minister Enrile noon, kinakausap yung mga politiko, no? Yung mga local government officials, kinakausap naman namin yung junior officers. Kaya nung magsimula yon, ang original plan kasi is lusubin yung Malacanang, no? Wala sa pag-iisip namin yung people power, no?
Nang maging Pangulo si Cory Aquino, si Enrile ang pinili niyang maging Secretary ng National Defense.
Siyempre, hindi mo maiwas na identified si Minister Enrile sa dating Pangulong Marcos, no? Na katunggali naman sa politiko at sa ibang bagay ni former Senator Ninoy Aquino. So, hindi ideal yung starting point nila.
The stories behind what has already been told will only come from the person who has it firsthand. So, were you involved in the planning for martial laws, ho? Sinabihan ba kayo ni Andy? Ba't kayo pumayag? Ano yung, what was behind your reasoning?
Because I believe that if it was not done, this country was going to be ruled by Marxists. Iba yung leftist eh.
Bakit si Jose Maria Sison, takot kayo sa kanya?
Hindi naman sa tukot, pero it was a rising tide. And then we we knew already that there was going to be a problem in Mindanao. We had, you go
muna, but because of Jabida.
No, yeah.
Hindi ba, medyo.
That is Operation Merdeka.
Oh, excuse me. So, ano nangyari, no? In other words, doon lumabas, hindi ba?
Not only because of Jabida, there were packets of rebellion in Mindanao. Before the onset of the MNLA.
Pero sa isip niyo ba po, si Marcos ang kaisa-isang taong pwedeng was the only one who would have been able to deal with it? Because ang papasok sa kanya si Ninoy Aquino at that time. At that time,
there was no other leader who was deciding for the country. It was only Marcos. It was the beginning of his second term. And the problem started already long before him. He had to act. If he did not act, time was of the essence as far as our view went. No?
But so
nobody can assess the situation except those in the on the stage.
Eventually, hindi man medyo na disillusion kayo.
Well,
na-dissolution kayo o hindi?
In time.
Okay. In other words, how long?
Because the
the original plan went all right.
Ganon. Oh, so how
As
long?
far as I was concerned.
Really?
Yeah.
You cannot
So
give
I
us a
said-
hint? Oh.
This is not what we intended to do. So I kept quiet.
Tingnan mo na. How long before nagkahalataan kayo na, Jing, hindi ito yung ating pinag-usapan?
At it went along for some time.
Before martial law, you were already
I was
defense.
already Defense Secretary in 1970. February 10, 1970.
Okay, and then
That's
after
long before martial law.
Okay, and then after martial law, you stayed on as...
The president asked me to stay on.
Oo.
I wanted to resign, but he said, I cannot allow you to leave.
During all this time, si President Marcos ba, did he continue to have confidence in you? O sa palagay nyo ay nawalaan na ang kumpiyansa niya because, iniintriga kayo ng mga...
July 18, 1983. Mark that time.
Okay, hindi pa
10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
In the presence of General Ramos, I went to him and resigned. I went to Marcos and submitted my irrevocable resignation. Said, I cannot allow you to leave.
Talaga?
Yeah. We started this together. We finished it together. It was a prophetic statement.
Sabi niya, hindi
He did not
pwede.
want me. I was so angry.
Oh.
I said a lot of things inside the palace. I was ready to face the firing squad.
Could you have just said, basta ayoko na? Major.
Hindi pwede.
Hindi pwede.
I have no army.
There was during EDSA, meron kayong sinabi na meron kayong sulat sa inyong pamilya na hindi pwedeng buksan except kung mamatay kayo. Was it a farewell, dear country?
Yes.
Sort of thing.
Like,
Mga adios patria adorada.
Hindi naman ako Jose Rizal.
Oo, pero
siyempre,
almost.
pag pupunta ka sa France, sa isang masalimuot na kalagayan, magpapaaram ka sa iiwanan mo sa buhay.
40 years after martial law, tapos na. The question is, meron ba kayong, if there was things that you would do differently for martial, would you?
Kailangan yun nung araw eh. Hindi ko babaguhin. Kailangan yun nung araw.
Kailan dapat natapos yun?
Dapat natapos yun nung end of 1973.
You see, that's what I thought. You wanted him to declare martial law only up to the end of his term.
Hindi nga.
And then it did not happen. He wanted pala to stay.
Meron ng bagong constitution noon.
Tsura lang. Did you have any fear that EDSA 1 would fail?
Nung umalis ako sa bahay, lumingon ako, sabi ko, kung ako'y magtatagumpay, babalik dito. Pero kung hindi, patay ako.
Ayan ang...
At talagang committed ako na mamatay.
Anong sinabi ni Christina? Yung inyong asawa?
Lumuhod. Sa harapan na crucifix.
Ano kaya ang lesson o ang message na martial law presents to yung current generation na hindi sila nakatikim ng martial law?
You know, I think it is best that we leave that to historians. Because you cannot judge it that, masama o maganda. This will be studied by men. What if President Marcos did not act? That will be a question. The what ifs. These are the issues that people will answer.
Well, mga kapuso, we are going to give yung mga ating kayo a chance to ask Senate President Enrile mga tanong from Facebook. Kaya wag kayong aalis dyan.
Ano ba yung Facebook?
Hindi ko rin alam eh.
Kaya ayun ang hindi ko alam. Ano ba yung vlogger? Ano ba yung Facebook?
Laki sa hirap si Senator Juan Ponce Enrile. Pangingisda at pagsasaka ang kabuhayan ng pamilya ng kanyang ina sa Cagayan kung saan siya pinanganak. Anak sa labas si Senator Enrile, kaya lumaki siya na hindi kilala ang ama. Nang magbinata si Senator Enrile, hinanap nito ang ama sa Maynila. Nakilala niya ang kanyang amang si Alfonso Ponce Enrile. Hindi raw alam noon ni Alfonso na nagkaroon siya ng anak kay Petra Furuganan, ang ina ni Senator Enrile. Tinanggap siya ng kanyang ama at ipinakilala sa iba pa niyang mga kapatid. Isa na dito ang sikat na mga aawit na si Armida Sigion Reyna.
Nagulat lang ako, sabi ko, kamukha siya ng father ko, kamukha siya ng papa ko. At saka hindi siya mayabang, hindi siya, probinsyano.
Maluwag siyang tinanggap sa tahanan ng pamilya ng kanyang ama.
He was a very good son. Malapit siya sa mother ko. Miski na nung at the time that my mother died. My mother was very good, was very kind, very good to him.
Bilang ganti sa kabutihan ng ama, pinag-igihan niya ang pag-aaral.
Alam mo yan, nag-aaral na siya sa St. James, ano? Hanggang alas 3 ng umaga. He was memorizing what he had to memorize.
Natatandaan pa ni Armida kung paano siya turuan ng kanyang kuya.
Miski na nung mga bata pa kami, tinutulungan niya kami sa paggawa ng homework. You know, hindi naman niya kami pinapamper na katulad ng he makes our minds work.
Dahil sa pagsusumikap, Senator Juan Ponce Enrile graduated with a Bachelor of Laws degree at the University of the Philippines College of Law, cum laude. Nag-aaral din siya sa Harvard Law School, kung saan siya nakapagtapos ng kanyang Master of Laws.
I was very proud of him. I was very proud. He was an excellent brother, he was an excellent son, he was an excellent student, excellent career man, excellent lawyer. Sana tumagal pa ang buhay niya. Sana tumagal pa talaga.
Kayo po anak ng isang labandera. Abogado at saka
I hesitate to say it.
At saka labandera.
I was born out of wedlock.
Wedlock. Bakit hindi kayo pumunta kaagad? Bakit nag-intay kayo?
Because I did not know who my father was.
How did you find out?
It was only when my mother showed me a leaflet of a candidate for House of Representatives and said, "This is your father. He's not here. Nandun siya, Jay Manila, abogado, Awan Ditoy."
Okay.
Ilocano.
Okay. Anong sinabi? Anong ginawa niya?
Bata pa ako noon, tumahimik ako.
So when did you decide to go to him?
Yung pumasok, hindi ko alam kung nasaan siya. Hindi ko alam kung paano pumunta sa Maynila. I was born in the jungle, you know.
Kailan niyo kinuha yung Ponce Enrile?
He asked for, when I became already, when I graduated from high school and I was going to pre-law, he asked his Mariano Carbonell, a brilliant assistant of the law office, to file a petition in court to change my name, so that I will carry his name, so that it will not be awkward for my other brothers and sisters to be with me.
What was your relationship with him?
I was very close to him. I had breakfast with him early in the morning, coffee in the morning.
When you were young, were you a religious boy?
I never went to church.
Oh.
Because we have no church in our place. It's in the book when I finally learned that I have to ask the
Lord for help. How old were you?
I was 20 years old.
Oh, you see, 20 years old. So the first 20 years of your life, it was sheer guts.
I did not know how to say any
Prayer.
Alam mo ba kung bakit naging abogado ako?
Oh.
Dahil nung second year high school ako, pinagsasaksak ako ng mga anak ng mayayaman na mga miyembro ng Board of Trustees noong high school na kung saan ako ay libre na mag-aaral. No? Scholar ako eh.
Bakit kayo pinagsasaksak? Gwapo ba kayo o bright kayo?
Pinagdadahan ako na yung babae na katabi ko ay liniligawan ko. Hindi naman ako pwedeng lumigaw. No? Tapak-tapak lang ako eh. Ngayon, at saka hindi ko type siya.
In other words, nainggit sa inyo.
Nag-aaral sa akin sa geometry.
Tinuturuan nyo.
Tumalon ako sa bintana para ako mabuhay. Dahil sinagsak ako rito, sinagsak ako sa tiyan.
How old were you? How old were you?
I was 17.
My God.
Pagkatapos yung eskwela, nag-file ako ng kaso, yung juez, dinismiss ako, wala akong abogado. Pagkatapos yung eskwela, in-expel ako. Kaya,
kayo ang biktima, kayo pa ang na-expel. Naku, masakit yun. And that's when you decided that you were going to be a lawyer.
Nung dinismiss yung kaso ko dahil wala akong abogado.
Sabi niya, ayan.
Ito pala, ang mahirap, walang kakayahan na ipagtanggol.
Pero alam ninyo na yung tatay niyo abogado.
Oo.
Na abogado de Campanilla.
Hindi ko alam kung abogado de Campana o de Campanilla.
Okay.
Pero, yun ang sinabi na magaling na abogado.
Oh my God, yes, he was.
Kailangan pala gusto ko maging inhinyero. Dahil
You had good head for numbers.
mathematics, wala hindi ko pinag-aaralan.
Ito na po ang mga tanong nyo kay Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile. Tignan natin kung ano ang sasagutin niya. Please ask him, what is his stand on 1. Soto's plagiarism, 2. Homosexuality, and to him, what's the best way to curb political dynasty and improve healthcare system in the country?
I'm not familiar about healthcare in the country.
Okay.
Pero, so, I beg off. No?
Okay.
Tungkol sa gay pari, hindi mo gawa ng Diyos yan eh.
Aha.
Nandyan na sila. Hindi mo pagbabawalan. Yung lalaki na ang kanyang feeling ay babae, hindi mo bababago yun. Yung babae naman, na ang feeling niya ay lalaki siya, ay hindi mo bababago yun.
Oo.
Kaya, ako, I believe in tolerance.
Pero yung tinatawag na gay marriage, where they have a contract.
Gawin nila kung gusto nila, pero hindi ko masasang-ayunan yun.
Aha.
Di ba?
Well, that's your opinion.
Ngayon, ano pa yung sinabi niya?
Yung plagiarism ni Soto.
Yung plagiarism, hindi ko sinasabi, hindi ko ginajustify, hindi ko pinawawalan ng kasalanan si Tito kung nagkasala siya. Ang sinasabi ko, totoo ba yung sinabi niya, yung ginamit niya na punto?
Oo.
Doon sa issue na pinag-uusapan. Huwag ninyo ililihis doon sa siya ay pangit o kaya siya ay may bigote o nangopya. But yung bang sinabi niya ay totoo doon sa issue na tinatalakay na.
Oo.
Yan na.
Pero ang tinatanong lang, wag naman sabihin kanya yon. Sasabihin, all he has to do is to apologize. Oh, I made a mistake. You know, I forgot.
Saka hindi krimen yung it's not a crime. It's a civil case. Yung mga na damage, pwede silang magdemanda.
Okay. What is the best way to curb political dynasty?
Alam mo sa yung bagay na yan, hindi mo matatanggal yan eh. Yung sinasabi na political dynasty, magmula pa nung isinilang si Adan, meron na yan. Di ba?
Okay.
Meron na yan. Sapagkat ang taong bayan ang pumipili ng mga kone. Hindi naman pinupwersa yung mga botante na, iboto mo ito dahil anak ko
And what is the direction of the RH bill if the leaders of the Senate is against it already? Have the senators been personally going to the slum areas where populations are beyond the capability of the squatters to acquire jobs due to early pregnancy of the teens?
Ang Pilipinas, hindi lang naman Islam area eh. Malawak yan. Magpunta ka sa Taganak, sa Tawi-Tawi. Magpunta ka sa Batanes. Magpunta ka sa aking probinsya sa Cagayan. Kailangan ng mga mangingisda, magsasaka ang katulong sa pamilya para mabuhay sila. At saka pangalawa, Winnie, okay lang yan sa short term. Yan sinasa population control, ano? Pero ikaw, ekonomista ka. Meron ka bang ekonomiya kung wala kang tao?
Hindi naman sa walang tao, sa masyadong maraming tao.
Ikaw ba, nagtatanim ka, pinakikinabangan mo kaagad, yan, idinidiligan mo. When you weed it out, and you let it grow until it matures and it bears fruit. Iyan mga 15 anyos na yan, yung mga 14, 13, 12, 11 hanggang 1 taon, dadating ang araw silang pakikinabangan ng bayan.
Nga, paano sila mapapakinabangan kung hindi wala silang education, wala silang... we are going to fight about this, Senate President.
I'm willing to debate it.
Ay, nako, I am the host and he is the guest, so I'll be very kind to him. Thank you. Okay, next. Tingnan muna, but ano yung reaction nyo na si Pia Cayetano is saying you're delaying it?
I'm not delaying.
You're not.
Dito, kung may numero ka, kaagad kami pwede. Ba, gusto nila butuhan. Ba, na walang amendment. Baka hindi nila alam. Baka matatalo yung RSU na yan.
Tingnan mo na sandali lang. Ito personal ito.
Sige.
May anak ba kayo sa iba besides from his wife?
Wala.
Wala.
Si Jack lang at si Katrina.
Okay. He looked at me straight in the eye, mga kapuso. Hindi siya nagsisinungaling. Okay. Ito namang isa. Bakit po ba Juan Ponce ang pangalan ninyo? Curious lang.
Kasi yung lolo ko si Damaso Ponce.
Damaso Ponce, okay.
Kapinsan ni Mariano Ponce.
Okay.
Ang La Solidaridad.
Okay.
Sa Revolusyon.
Okay.
At yung aking lola, nanay ng tatay ko, Enrile, Teresa Enrile. Ngayon, nagkandidato ang tatay ko sa Cagayan, may kandidato na ang pangalan, nakalaban niya, Alfonso Ponce. Ay, Alfonso Ponce siya bininyagan.
Naku.
Kaya idinagdag niya yung apelyido ng nanay niya, kaya magmula noon naging Ponce Enrile kami, kaya kami lang ang Ponce Enrile dito.
In other words, it was for political okay. Bakit ba ang pogi natin dalawa?
Pogi ang mga tatay natin.
Okay, ano ang secret ng inyong buhok? Bakit you're already 89 years old and your hair is so thick?
Hindi, kinukulayan ko yan.
Alam kong kinukulayan, pero bakit napaka-thick pa? Yung tatay nyo ba hindi naging kalbo?
Hindi. Sabi ko sa inyo, kung hindi biro-biro, ito, YouTuber ko, medyo makinis na yung tuktok niya. Pero gabi-gabi, gumagawa siya ng katas ng malunggay leaves. Malunggay leaves. Sasamahan niya ng gata. Pagkatapos yung yellow na luya. Yun, pinagsama-sama niya yung katas na yun. At yun, ilinalagay niya. Ngayon, may buhok na. Kung gusto mo naman malaman kung bakit marami nagsasabi, bakit naman bumabata ka?
O, tingnan mo na nga, bakit nga all of a sudden na wala yung mga wrinkle-wrinkle nyo dito?
Kasi meron akong doktor.
Nag-inject ba siya, mga botox-botox?
Walang injection, walang botox-botox.
Anong ginagawa?
Ino-oxygenate niya yung mukha mo. Pag tumatanda tayo, kulang ng oxygenation yung mukha mo, yung skin mo.
Magkano yan? Admit, how much does it cost? $1,000 a session?
Siguro mga $5,000.
Hindi para sa atin, mga kapuso. Para sa mga mayayaman na abogado de Campanilla. Ayan ang mangyayari sa inyo. Sino ang nagrekomenda ng doktor? Hindi ba? Ang balita ko, merong isang senadora nagsabi sa inyo, ito yung doktor ko na ginagawang oxygenation. Totoo ba yun? Tell the truth.
I never deny or...
I will neither confirm nor deny. Anyway, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Huwag kayong alis dyan. Meron ba tayong fun? So, huwag kayong alis.
Neither confirm or deny.
Mga kapuso, tapos na tayo sa Abogado de Campanilla, sa Senate President. Ngayon naman, ang i-introduce ko sa inyo si Dr. Juan Ponce Enrile. Kasi meron siya mga recommendations, medication. Okay, Dr. Ponce Enrile, anong sinasabi niyo? Ano ang iniinom ninyo gabi-gabi bago kayo matulog?
Umaga, tanghali, at gabi umiinom ako ng guayabano, boiled guayabano leaves. Pagkukulaan mo yung kanon, parang tea yun, inumin mo.
Morning, noon, and night?
Amber ang color.
Ano ang nagagawa nun para sa inyo?
I feel good about it.
Okay, guayabano leaves, boiled, morning, noon, and night.
Paggabi,
89 years old, you better believe it.
Paggabi, umiinom ako ng malunggay juice.
Paano nyo ginagawa yung malunggay juice?
Mga juicer,
How much leaves?
1 cup full.
And then you
Get 2 spoonful.
and then drink it.
Yung malunggay, ibinaba pa rin yung sugar level ko. Wala akong problema sa sugar,
Diabetes.
no?
Oo.
Pero nahalata ko na yung aking sugar bumaba.
Ito inyong example, yung driver nyo.
Ito.
Pakita nyo nga, mga kapuso. Oh.
Ginamit niya sa...
Pakita mo yung ulo mo, iho. Yun noon.
Tiga, meron na siya sinusuklay.
Oo, muna. Pero noon talaga bang...
Talagang liso yan.
Wala.
Wala.
Ano ang kwan mo?
Sinungaling.
Hindi ba?
Sinungaling.
Ang advisor niya,
Liso yan.
ang advisor ni Dr. Juan Ponce Enrile, hindi ibang doktor, ang advisor niya si Bing, yung kanyang loyal and trusted maid. Ayan, okay. Na ilang buwan na yan, Emang Egay? 1 month at meron nagtutubo. Aba, kailangan mapakita ko kay Christian yan. Yung asawa ko medyo may problema na rin.
Lahat yung mga security ko gumagamit na ngayon ng malunggay. Ipinapahid mo lang sa scalp.
Tapos,
Ang ginagawa nila, itutulog nila, maglagay ka ng shower cap.
ay ang ginagawa mo. Aba, hey, I'm not going to argue with that, ha? Okay. Tama na yung pagka-doktor nyo. Ngayon, meron tayong... Kayo, ang ganda-ganda ng asawa nyo.
Oo.
Si Christina. Paano nyo naligawan?
Careful.
Paano nyo naligawan siya?
Ha?
I mean, what,
Kaya God and Gas, it is ikinuhit ng tadhana yun.
what all of a sudden made you so attractive to her?
I don't know. You ask her.
Pero hindi you did not say, I'm going to get this girl.
No.
Tell the truth.
I just smiled, tried to be nice to her.
Pero, how did you propose to her?
You want to marry me?
Ganun ba yun? Just like that? Abogado di Campanilla, you want to marry me? Ano ba yan?
And I want to marry you.
And
And I will take care of you.
Yeah talaga. Ano sabi niya? Okay. What did she say?
Sabi niya, maybe.
Ganun lang yun?
Remember
When did you kiss her first?
One night in the movie.
You were already an old bachelor and then you're going to make stealing a kiss in the movie?
One night in the movie.
Napakakwa nyo naman pala. Napaka plain and simple boy pala at heart.
Kami, mga simpleng mga tao, galing ako sa mahirap.
Yung unang-una holding hands. And then you kissed her in the movie. Ganun ba yun?
I do not know anymore. Basta,
What do you mean, how can you not know? This must be etched into your mind. Sige. Alright. May day off ba kayo?
Wala.
Wala. Palaging trabaho na lang. What do you do for fun?
Nothing.
Good God!
I stay at home. I take my dinner with my wife.
Di napaka-boring yung life ninyo.
Hindi. I go to Intercon 365 and make dal-dal with the...
Ayun ang inyong relaxation.
Then I go home, I take lunch, then I read poems.
Ano kaya ang gagawin nyo pag nanalo kayo ng loto?
Pag nanalo ako...
Anong gagawin nyo?
Yes. I put the scholarship fund.
Greatest fear?
Death.
Really? I'm surprised. Kung merong isang bagay na pwede niyong ipalit sa sarili ninyo, ano yon?
Wala. Because I would like to relive my life again.
If you can fantasize.
I would like to fly to infinity. Suppose you have the capacity to shoot myself upwards.
Yeah.
I would like to do that all the way where I would reach the end of time.
Ano yung most embarrassing moment sa life ninyo?
When I was called bastardo.
Who did that?
A lot of people.
Kailan? Ilang
When I
taon
was
kayo?
young. Masasaktan ka.
Anong sinabi ng nanay nyo nung sinumbong nyo sa kanya?
Sabi niya, anak, talagang gano'n ang buhay.
Talaga? And you showed them all up. Okay. Meron ba kayong motto? I mean, something that you live by. Ano?
Gusto ko Happy ka.
Baby na. No. You just thought about that in your last election. Kayo naman. Happy ka ba? Pero tingnan mo na sandali. Happy ako?
I'm happy.
Okay. Happy? Gusto ko happy ka.
Ay, gusto ko rin happy ka.
And, well, what will make you even happier?
You know, happiness is a state of mind.
Absolutely. As your final moment dito sa show na ito, Ma'am Johnny.
Unang-una, salamat sa iyo. Sa binigay mo sa akin ang pagkakataon na makapanayam kita. Hindi ko alam na napakasarap palang makipag-usap sa iyo.
Bolero! Naku, Diyos ko! Ayan, ganyan pala that's how you got Christina. Okay. No, but can you just, yung message po sa atin.
Kayong mga kabataan,
45 years of service.
kayong mga kabataan, unang-una, wala, mahirap man kayo, mayabang kayo, pare-pareho lang kayo. Isa lang ang pinanggalingan ng utak ninyo, mag-aaral kayo, gamitin ninyo yan. Pangalawa, kayo na mga humahawak ng kapangyarihan, ipagtatanggol ninyo yung mga mahihirap na hindi kayang ipagtanggol ang kanilang mga karapatan. Kung hindi natin sila mabibigyan ng kayamanan, pasikapin natin na bigyan natin sila ng kalusugan, kabuhayan, katarungan, at katahimikan sa kanilang buhay at sa kanilang bansa. At kung meron bang kayo galit sa isang tao, huwag niyo palilipasin ng isang araw. Kalimutan na ninyo yon. Bahala na ang Panginoon. Sapagkat kung iniisip mo palagi na ipaghihiganti yung pananakit sa iyo, ay mauubos yung panahon mo, malalason yung konsensya mo, mamamatay ka sa hindi maluwat na panahon.
That's a beautiful message. Pero gusto ko lang malaman, Manong Johnny, ito ba, is this something you learned through life? Ganito ba kayo nung nag-uumpisa kayo? O ngayon lang kayo natuto na, ayan pala ang the best?
Gusto ko yung mga kabataan basahin nila itong aklat na ginawa ko para makita nila paano ako lumakbay.
How you overcame, yes. Absolutely.
Sa buhay.
Ayan. Pero miski hindi nyo babasahin, mag-a-analyze po tayo. Kaya huwag kayong aalis dyan. Kaya yung mga kapuso, hanggang ngayon, marami pa rin ang merong talagang kinasusuklaman si Juan Ponce Enrile dahil sa kanyang ginawa during martial law when he was part and parcel of the dictatorship. But let's also face it, kaya siya nagsulat ng kanyang libro para malaman rin ng madla kung ano yung kanyang side o kanyang perspective about the role. Of course, meron rin iba na hindi nalalaman kung ano ang role niya doon sa martial law years. Pero sa ngayon, talagang napaka-popular si Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile kasi sa nakikita nilang ginagawa niya, lalong-lalo na during the impeachment trials. Hindi po ba? Pero alam nyo, ang pinag-uusapan natin, 45 years of public life, hindi siguro naman pwedeng palaging, grade excellent at saka grade failure. It's always going to be a mix of both. What is important is to find out ano ba ang ginawa niya para sa bayan on the whole, plus pa or minus. Kayo ang maghuhusga. I'm not going to say whether the one side is right or the other side is right. Kagaya ng sinabi niya, history will be the judge. Ang gusto ko lang ma-focus dito sa analysis is that, hindi ba, talagang mukhang he is the perfect example of yung gulong ng palad. Minsan sa ilalim, minsan sa ibabaw. Tingnan nyo, nung pinanganak siya, anak sa labas yan. Anak ng isang abogado de Campanilla at isang labandera. Hindi niya alam kung sino yung tatay niya until he was, 17 years old or something like that. Amazing, is it not? narinig natin ang storya niya, kung paano siya, sinaksak ng mga kaklase niya, tapos siya pa ang na-expel. Kaya naging abogado siya, narinig niyo. Kasi naranasan niya ang pag-aapi at saka yung walang katarungan para sa kanya. And so he decided he would do it. Can you imagine that? That's how gulong ng palad works. You want to be an engineer, you end up being a lawyer, hindi ba? Tapos, martial law. Ayaw niya sabihin kung ano ang nasa libro niya. Pero, ang talagang narinig ko talaga is yung sa martial law, ang akala niya, ang buong akala niya, na yung martial law would end in 1973. Hindi niya akalain na yung balak pala ni President Marcos ay talagang, up to the end. That's why he said, ano ang greatest mistake ni Marcos? He wanted to stay so long. Tanong natin, hindi ba? Ano ang greatest mistake ni Marcos? Anong greatest mistake ni Cory, etc. Wala naman siyang, parang wala siyang kinikilingan. In other words, he has reached an age, mga kapuso, where all he wants to do is set the record straight. Maybe he wants to set the record straight a little bit in his favor. One does not know. But ang importante dyan is, here is a boy who was born poor, who did not know his father until he was 17 years old, who went, talagang nag-aral siya, nagsikap siya, he wanted an education, he got an education, and he made very well for himself. Ito pa, here is a man who decided, nakita natin, narinig natin yung kanang message, that he wanted to help the poor, yung inaapi, etc. Hindi ba magandang ambisyon yon? Pero, looking back on it, malalaman natin, we will come to our own conclusions, kung di siya ay nagkasala siya o hindi, na angel siya o devil, na saint siya o sinner, is immaterial. The point is, again, born in poverty, rose to success, rose to power, rose to political power, holds power very lightly. Obviously he does not care, or he does not care that much about it. What is important is kanyang final message sa atin, kailangan natin talagang pakinggan, mag-aral, tulungan ang mga mahihirap at mga inaapi. Kung gagawin natin yan, talaga naman, tayo ay maging parte ng solusyon ng ating bayan, hindi parte ng problema. Hindi ba? That's what we learn from Juan Ponce Enrile. Forget the politics, forget the power, just the man. Remember the poor, educate ourselves, educate them. And that's all we can ask. Kung hindi natin gagawin yan, talagang masasaway tayo ni Maring Winnie. Kasi alam nyo naman, bawal ang pasaway kay Maring Winnie.